Hello, welcome to Cards of the Week. I am Baisan, and I am with Night Shadow today.
Hey, how's it going?
And we have 15 cards this week, surprisingly a lot. We'll go ahead and just start with Sao. Ideal Self Shinon. Blue character 001K, avatar and weapon. You may pay 1 and send a top deck to clock. When you play this card to hand, you get paid the cost. If you do, search a level 2 or higher, show it to your opponent, then put it in your hand, shuffle the deck.
Wow, good card.
Actually, I think it's terrible.
Well, here's the thing. Blue doesn't have any pluses at level 0.
But it is not plus you want at level 0.
Not as no. See, this card goes in a certain archetype. That's the yellow, blue, green deck. This is the card that you play to get your level 3 Leafas out of your deck before it hits your stock.
It's more set up for late game, but I'd rather have it be a card that's set up for early game instead.
Well, I mean, like, at the very worst, you can search up something that you can change into later, like, say, since we've covered Asuna already, let's talk about the On Top of the World tree, level 3 Asuna. Search out that one, then ditch it later with your Kirito or Silica searchers, and then you can change into it later. I mean, it's just a card in hand that you can use as fodder. It's just you plus from it.
You plus from it, but it's definitely not a plus you. It's not definitely a plus you kind of want.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, like in Sal, you have enough room in hand to bring it on to the next level. Essentially, it's not like you're always actively searching for level ones.
Yeah, but in comparison to like Ricky and Arcane, it's severely inferior.
Well,
Yeah,
okay.
but
To
you
be
say
fair, it is inferior, but that's because it's in the color of the like that. I mean, Ricky is in a good color for Little Busters. Oh
yeah.
wait,
No,
it
it's
doesn't
not.
really.
It's actually a terrible color for Little Busters.
What's the money counter for then? I mean, like that's the reason why you're able to splash that in because of Ricky. It's in the perfect color to splash stuff. Blue doesn't have anything they want to splash.
I know there's a card exactly like this, exact same exact same stats and everything. Just can't remember what card it was.
In which set?
That's it. That's the thing. I don't know. I don't remember which set.
Because if I recall correctly, this is the very first one of its kind. Pay one, clock one, search
No,
for
I know
two
there's.
or higher.
I know there's a different. I know there's one that's been like this before.
Clock one as well.
Clock one. I know there's a salvager one in rewrite, but that's different because it went salvage. Just one searches. I can't remember what card it was. I know there's one before.
All I'll say is this much: if you're running a deck where you have level 3 Lifas and level 1 Asuna markers, this card will help you get to level 1 faster, and is more quote unquote reliable than Asuna lays on the sofa. And hey, you'll take it. I think that this is a good card for that deck and that deck only.
I think it's terrible, but for other reasons. So I guess we'll just go to the next card then. An ordinary day in SAO Asuna.
ALO.
I don't care. I don't care at this point. Yellow 1035. Avatar and weapon trait. All your other avatar and net character gains 500, and you get and brainstorm pay 1. Reveal the top 4. If there's any climax in those 4, choose an avatar or net character and give it 2k to end of this turn.
My 3 words is for this card is it's not terrible.
It's not terrible, but it's just so much inferior to the other two.
It's like it's outclassed by Asuna's married life. Like, wow. Now, people were drawing parallels between this and the Umi from Love Live, and obviously there's no comparison. Umi is so much better. This card is slightly worse, and in Sal, slightly worse than Umi means it's unplayable. However, it's not a bad card on your own if you're looking to build a mono waifu deck. And this would be your level 1 Brainstorm into the back. Though you would you'd still run the level 0 Brainstorm anyways because it's your +1 level attacker. Yeah, never mind. There's no use for this card at all.
In comparison to Shinon and Soka, it's straight up which brainstorm is better. Because it's level 1, that means you have to have some yellow in it.
Well, here's the thing. If you want the +2k, then you're gonna run the level 0 1 anyways because that's a spammable +2k. And on top of that, the other effect is when this card is a one or less on the field, +1 level +1,000. Like there's your +1 level character at level 0. What do you need a global 500 for when you have Asuna's married life? Like this card is literally not going to see play. Like oh my goodness, I just rethinking about this now. Like oh my goodness, this is horrible. It's not terrible. It's just not playable.
It's technically a good card. It's just terrible in its set.
Yeah, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, it's too bad. It's too bad. It's a good card. It's just in a wrong set.
Yeah.
Alright, I guess we'll just go to the next card. Collecting Material Leafa, green 2/1 2K, Avatar and Weapon Trait. This card is a counter for 2500, and when you use this card's backup, reveal the top card. If that card's an Avatar and Net character, add it to your hand, then discard one card from your hand to the waiting room.
I can see this played.
I can see this getting played. Maybe even over self-sacrifice now.
I wouldn't say over self-sacrifice. I'd say with self-sacrifice.
That's way too. Yeah.
I'd say that this replaces the 1/0 counters. In a non-marker deck, of course. The reason I say that is because the ability to check the top card and add it to hand if it's a character basically means that you're going to be looking for those times when you want to mini brainstorm for one, and when you're defending, and that definitely is worth a 500 power decrease. Now, I get what Biosat is saying regarding not having self-sacrifice in the deck to make the backup more powerful. However, Sal's entire winning image is power, especially at level 2 and level 1. So they would need some sort of semblance, even at level 3, because of all the clock kicks that are going around right now. So I feel like self-sacrifice would still be needed, especially if you're not running level 3 Leaf in the back.
Regardless, I could still see this card being played no matter what.
Well,
I mean,
no,
like it's literally like a small brainstorm. It's almost comparable to Rewrite's Suzaru counter, except Suzaru is guaranteed to remove one or not.
Yeah. Though I didn't say that this card would never be played. I think this card will go in every single deck.
And that's what I mean. I'm not gonna say it's not gonna be played. I'm just saying it's probably gonna be played in every deck.
Yeah.
At least one copy.
Yeah, because this is the kind of defensive card that Sal needed. And I don't mean their trial deck level 3.
But yeah, it's a good card. It's a mini brainstorm one, and having that one card out of your top deck is like could be everything.
And hey, he also gets rid of an excess Climax.
Yeah, it's gonna suck if it hits a event card though. So
you want to kind of minimize the number of self-sacrifice. I get that. However, like I said, I still feel self-sacrifice is necessary in Sal.
the good thing is not. It's good thing is just not say something like when you play this counter, you must draw one or something, and you draw into a climax and you'll cry. Okay, enough joking around. We'll just go to the next card. The usual Silica, red 2/1 AK, Avatar Weapon Trait. When you have 6 or more stock, this card gains 501 soul.
I don't care about the effect. The usual Silica is her being useless.
Yeah, kind of actually. In all honesty, I do play Silica deck, and this card is pretty useless. Even today, I just checked through my Silica deck just to see if I can actually use this card, and I literally find no spots for it.
The only thing you would replace is your 2/1 9K Silica.
Mine?
If you run it.
And arguably the 2/1 vanilla.
This card gets played over to vanilla.
Yeah, this card will get played over to vanilla for sure.
But I'm saying, like, you wouldn't be running the vanilla in a mono Silica deck. I've had most, you're going to be playing the 2/1 9K.
And even then, that card's having tough competition with the 2/1 7/5.
Just say no, kids. Say no to fan service.
Yo, man, I'm gonna put all the tentacle sleeves on this card.
Then why not just do that on the Climax?
You know what? I should have done that too.
Yeah.
But this one it will look better on this one.
Obviously.
Otherwise, honestly, I think it's a useless card.
Don't run it, kids.
Yeah, don't run it. It's pretty useless to be honest. Even in a mono Silica deck.
The usual Silica, always useless.
All right. Next card. Check your sex Xenon. Blue 2/1 7K. Avatar and Weapon Trait. With this card, opposite of this, the character that is opposite of this card is level 3 or higher. This card gains 3K, and you may rest 2 Avatar or Net characters to give this 2500 for the turn.
Playable.
It's better than the original 2/1 Asuna.
This is playable because this is essentially Sal's answer to an anti-change counter.
Wait, anti-change? Oh, you meant change in general.
Well, no, anti-change, like, because they don't have an anti-change counter, so they have to rely on Lightning Flash Asuna, and this card is a replacement for that, essentially being their version of anti-change. The thing I like about this is that it triggers act ability, so if you're running the Asuna's Natural Gentleness, this will also trigger your tapped characters for your characters. I'm not sure how much this will see play. I guess it's really matchup dependent.
I think it'll just be straight up played over any deck that's already running the double R in the first set.
Yeah, Lightning Flash.
Yeah, Lightning Flash, because it's straight up. It's already 10K against a level 3 in comparison to that card 12K. But you can just rest 2 to give it 2500 anyways, and in terms of actual positive than negative. This one has more. This one has no real negative to it.
Yeah. On top, the only reason that Lightning Flash would be better is the +1 soul, which admittedly has been used before to some degree. Other than that, though, this card is pretty much better in every respect besides obviously that soul count and the fact that this is blue.
And the fact that it doesn't send cards to stock, and then your opponent can just ram cards into it. Can't ram cards into it to get
No,
you
that's a positive for Shinon.
No, that's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. It's not a card that your opponent can totally abuse.
Yeah. And I was just saying, like, the only positives that Asuna has. And that's what I was saying in that sentence earlier.
Yeah, that, and it's also still 10k. It is still fighting level 3 on your opponent's turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see far more positive than negatives in comparison to the first original one.
Of course.
For any players who's already playing the Lightning Flash, you'll probably just replace it with this, unless you have the SP. Next card, Confronting Death Gun Kirito, blue 2/1 8k, Avatar Weapon Trade. You may pay 1 when you declare an attack with the Climax former name in the Climax zone. You may pay the cost. If you do, draw a card. This card gains 3k to the end of this turn. In the start of your Encore phase, if this card's in rest, you may put this card to the waiting room and choose a card named the result of Fate Kirito from your hand, then play where this character was before. And the Climax is 1k1 soul gate trigger.
Okay, so first off, that was a long-winded way of saying that this card is bad.
In a sense, it's kind of like saying a climax change combo on the Encore phase.
Yeah. Well, the things to point out from this the things that stand out for me is you pay 1 to draw 1, but you already played the Climax, so essentially pay 1 to have a wash for hand. The 3k until end of turn is nice because it's a 1k one, so this will be 13k, but it's only until the end of the turn.
Wouldn't it be just 12k?
Huh?
Wouldn't it just be 12k?
That's what I said.
You said 13.
Did I say 13?
You said 13.
Oh, sorry. I meant 12. Yeah. It's only 12k, and unlike playable 2/1s that have the 3k until the end of the opponent's turn, this was just until the end of the turn. And when it changes into a 3/2 that has a 10k, and so that's only a 2k up. That's not enough of a boost. Level 2s that are played can easily get over 10k, as shown by that Shinon over there. Next thing to point out is that the level 3 Kirito has a horrible unplayability, and we're going to get to that right now.
Well, before we get to it, I don't think it's that terrible. I mean, like, in terms of cost in comparison to actual Encore phase changes, it's actually no different. It's essentially pay to discard 1. In comparison to like let's just give an example like the Kappa who has Encore phase change. The Otome is already a pay to discard 1 to change it to a 3/2 anyways. And so all the reality is the cost to change itself is actually no different from an Encore phase change. And all due honesty, I think it's better than the already existing Climax phase change.
Well, no, I get that the change is better. It's just that the change target sucks.
Yeah, that's the thing. So
that's what I'm talking about. That's
yeah, I mean, like this card is not that. All due honesty, this card is actually not that bad, but it's the next card that's bad.
And
so we'll cover that card right now. The result of Fate Kirito, blue 3/2 10k, Avatar and Weapon Trade. When this card is played from hand to stage, you may look at the top of your deck, either placed on the top or bottom. When this card declares an attack with a Climax former name in the Climax zone, just send the top deck to waiting room. Is this forced?
Stop clock.
Sorry?
Stop clock. You said top deck, top clock.
Top clock to waiting room. And this card gains 3k to end of this turn. And with this card's front attack, you may pay the cost of 1 stock. And if you do, this card gains 1500 to end of this turn. And the Climax is still the same Climax as the card before.
So first off, what makes this card problematic is that it has 3 mediocre abilities, when strengthening the other 2 at the cost of the other one would have been just fine.
You know the funny thing is the second effect was actually exactly the same as Summer Nagato.
Well,
except
you see,
barring the Climax is being a little different.
Well, obviously, but I'm saying like the second effect is fine. I mean, like it's the first and third effect I'm really just pushing myself on, because typical level 3s that have something to do with drawing or looking don't look at 1 card. They look at 3 or 5. Just looking at the top card is pretty poor. Even though it can be changed into a level 2, I get that. But why do you have to nerf that? And just to make it a 10,000 power, it also got a mediocre ability to make up for the fact that the first one is mediocre. When this card is front attack, you pay 1, give 1500. Aisha does it much better. I know
Well,
I ranked when we first covered Aisha back in the capo. I know I ranted upon how bad that card is, but I'm realizing how good it is for anti-clock kick because that's 3000 for one.
I thought it was 35 on
35,
Aisha.
yeah. 35, sorry. This is 1500. That's not even close to enough. Like, okay, great, you can hit 14.5. How much stock did you pay for that? Like,
It's in a sense you could look at it as a handless counter of a sort, but it's better than no option. At least it's better than having no option against cards that requires reverse. But it's just pretty mediocre.
I would honestly have liked it to be essentially remove the first ability and strengthen the third ability to be 2500 power.
Yeah, that
Like,
sounds a little better. To be honest, no one is actually gonna play for its first ability. The first ability is pretty piss poor, and you could find like level 0 cards with the same attack effect.
like my 500 global in Kantai does that. Like, really? A level 3?
Yeah, it's a pretty piss poor effect, the first one.
I hope that on release it gets changed into a draw to ditch one because seriously, this is bad.
Yeah, it's the first effect's pretty bad. The second effect, I don't, is that actually a force heal?
Yes, just like in Summer Nagano.
Oh yeah, it is. Okay, so it's a force heal. Just hope you don't. Actually, you probably won't play the climax if you won't play the climax if they have anti heal somewhere. If they have more than one anti heal somewhere.
Yeah,
The last effect is it's technically defensive, which is kind of weird on a Kirito card because the other Kirito cards has been more offensive.
but he's also not dual wielding in this one.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's also not dual wielder, so it also makes sense.
Oh no, I'm spoiling GGO.
Yeah.
GG.
GG. Not it's actually not that great. In all honesty, I honestly think the first Kirito card was actually better than this. Actually, maybe. Okay. Oh, okay. That's it. Okay. Okay. That's saying a lot. All right. I regret saying that now. We'll just go. We'll just move on, right?
No, they're about the same.
Are they?
Yes, they're about the same. The first character card being better? No. About the same? Yeah, but I'd say so.
All right. I guess we'll just go on to the next set. Well, yeah, actually, it's the next set. Item Master.
Yeah.
Next card. Cherish the present Risco. Green 2/175. Music and glass. When you have 3 more other music character, this card has hand encore. When you play the Climax Go My Way, review the top card, and if that card is a music character, this card gains 3k and gains the following ability till end of the turn. When this card declares an attack, you may choose a back row character, and if you do, that card becomes a new defending character to this card's front attack.
Okay, first off, what's the Go My Way climax from before?
Alright, and the go my way is a gold bar.
Like, it was what-
The climax itself is actually in an older set. The original one was the Stockholm one soul from the top deck.
That's what I wanted to know. Okay, so, the way I look at it, from what I know of Idolmaster, and obviously feel free to correct me here, is that the only thing that makes this viable is the back row attack. The ability to disrupt your opponent's back row, and the fact that this card can do it multiple times due to the encore. One thing that makes this a little bit better is that obviously it's a gold bar now instead of a 1k, the stock one sold from the top deck. And hey, that 3k never really hurts anybody if you don't have to attack the back row anyways.
Yeah, technically this card doesn't have to attack the back row. It can still attack the card it's facing.
Am I off on anything or
Not
what
really.
happened?
You also have to consider the fact this card actually can combo with the original card that combos with Go My Way.
Which is that one?
It's a 2/1 red, 2/1 8k Haruka. When you play Go My Way, all your character gains 3k and cannot side attack.
Oh, that's nice.
So in theory, all right. I'm just gonna put it out in theory. This card can actually get up to 500k on its first attack. This card can actually become a very big beater just because of the original Haruka card that can attack the back row, and if it does attack the back row, then that card is gonna be fucked for sure.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, which back row character has?
In all due honesty, I've never seen a back row character that at least that is already can beat a 10k card anyways.
The only one that I can think of that's potentially possible is if you do that to Kantai when they're at level 3 and they have 2 Kaga at the back.
Oh, I guess that is possible.
They're both 9k at that point. So.
And in terms of existing cards that can attack the back row, there is a Chihaya card that's 2/1 8k. When you play Aotori, and you just pay one. This card can attack the back row. It all do real. Obviously this card's better than that one.
Yeah,
The,
I think this if you're gonna have a premier back row attacker, this would be it.
This is definitely going to be it. It's compared to a Chihaya, this is far more reliable because the climax is easier to get into your hand because
And on
it's
top of that, it's a character discard encore. I mean,
yeah,
like, that's
that
awesome.
means it could stay existing for a couple of turns.
Hmm.
But if you play a deck if you see Goma Way I mean, like, even if you use this with the original Goma Way, you can check the top first. If it's a music character, great against the power. And then you can send the top deck to stock, so you know what the card is now too.
Hmm.
So it's actually pretty decent as a back row attacking card.
Yeah, I'd say this is See, I'm cautiously optimistic about these cards because
Yeah, I
typically the
know.
back row attack stuff are like super expensive or has a weird
This one
thing.
has
This is
no.
gold bar. It's a gold bar.
It's
Like,
a gold.
seriously.
It's a gold bar with no real cost or anything.
And it's not on a 2/2.
There's no cost to this back row attack. I mean, like, the other ones had like pay 2 or on a climax. It's usually a 2K one soul,
Yeah, the only thing that you need to be able to back row attack is reveal the music character on top.
and that's not hard.
Otherwise,
And Idolmaster being a deck that can check the top multiple times, it's not that hard.
yeah. So that downside, quote unquote, is not actually that much of a downside. So that's actually a pretty cool card. Like I said, I'm still cautiously optimistic, but I think I might be seeing more go my way soon.
I guess that's enough with this card. This card is, in fact, the last Cherish the Present card. So we will not see any more from that set of card type, I guess. Swimsuit.
Well, we're going from cherish to present to the other side of the light. So
Yeah, basically. Next card, to the other side of the light, Makoto, blue character 105k, music and sport. During your opponent's turn, if you have another level 2 or higher, this card gains 2k.
good card.
I can't really comment on it, to be honest. I'm kind of half between good card and usable, between good card to usable card.
And the reason I say it's a good card is because, like, what is currently the level 1 lineup right now for Idolmaster?
For blue,
Yes.
if we include the movie set, of course, Takane and Makoto.
That to me screams that's all you need besides counters, obviously. This is it's looking like Idolmaster will run a defensive heavy deck that builds stock at level 1 so that they can disrupt the opponent at level 2 and finish the game at level 3, which is a nice little change of pace from what they used to do, where they just kind of hold out until they get the heal spam at level 3.
Yo, and that's fun until the anti-heal came out. Anyways, in all honesty, getting a level 2 or higher on your opponent's turn is actually like piss easy.
Yeah, that's why I'm not too worried about it, because there's a card called Makoto Off Time.
And that card already does the same thing, kind of.
You may have heard about it already. It's a good card.
Yeah, you cannot say Idolmaster without mentioning that card at least once. Yeah, that card is just straight up. It's straight up. You really think that Bushiroad it made this card intently to work with that other card. As far as card that resembles it, there is a card like this in Favorite Red.
No.
Is
Vivid
it?
Red's,
Is
Vivid
it a
Red's
1/1?
It's a 1/1.
Yeah, that's the only difference. It's a 1/1. But the thing is, if they really want to do it, it's expensive hell, and it cannot reliably stay on field anymore.
It still can actually.
It really depends on what you're fighting against, but
Like there's two ways to approach it, right? Either you do the Vivid Blue change, or you run the +1 level support at the back. And honestly, the back support is actually pretty cool too.
oh yeah, that's right. They have that too. I forgot about
Plus
that. I
level-
forgot
plus-
about that one. I forgot
+1
about that.
level, +500 power, and on play draw 1, ditch 1. Like that's amazing.
Yeah, I forgot. I'll be honest. I forgot about that card. But really, if you compare it to this one,
This is a 1/0. Like
it's a
wow.
1/0 that goes to a card that cannot be like anti-changed countered no matter what.
And I mean, like, if you're running Go My Way, and I think you should run 3 to 4 of it, then you're gonna be grabbing those into your hand when you trigger them, and so you can just side at level 1 when you don't have enough power on offense, which is fine, because you have the defense there, and so your opponent will either be forced to side or somehow try to find their way over it. Hello, counters.
Yeah, it has to compete with Takane and the assess Makoto, which obviously be played over this card if this card ever loses.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good anywhere between okay to good card. It really goes down to what other 1-0 might show up.
Speaking of which,
Yep.
your favorite idol.
Yep, my favorite idol. The other side of the light, Yukiko. Yellow 104k, music and T. When another music card attacks, this card gains 1500 to end of this turn, and this card has hand on core. Not to mention, this card is also a double R.
I do want to point out that this card is not as bad as people first made it out to be.
In all honesty, it's not bad because of the cards in.
Okay.
I'll be honest. That's my reason to this.
Okay.
There is a bit of a to be honest, it's kind of a bit of a restriction. This card has to be the last card to actually attack for 7k.
Which means you're only going to run 2 of it at most.
Yeah, you're gonna run 2 of this at most. This card will probably lose it will probably lose during your opponent's turn.
But at least it has character encore. I mean, there is that, right?
If you have one in your hand already, you're probably not gonna hand on core it anyways because you're only gonna be using one every turn. It's not bad considering how yellow level 1 lineup is right now. You're either in terms of yellow level 1 lineup, you're either gonna be playing the pink diamond combo for yellow, which can.
Oh goodness gracious, no.
But honestly, in comparison, this is far much easier to get. It's a standalone play.
Well, see, that's the point. I mean, like, if we have to go back to the pink diamond stuff, wow.
You see, yeah, that's how bad that level 1 game is.
Like, I don't play Idol Master that much, and I know that pink diamond sucks.
And the other option would be the Ami Mami change.
Do you mean the clothing change one?
No, the Ami Mami change.
Because that's what I was using when I was doing yellow level 1.
No, I mean the Ami Mami change. And the other option is the change in clothes. So
the clothing change Mami.
The clothing change Mami. So this if you're playing yellow, you could essentially have a full front row with like all hand on core. They're all attacking for like 7k.
But only for that turn.
Only for that turn, and then you'll be losing you probably lose every single one. You probably have to discard 3 cards. Yeah, it's to be honest, it's not really not really an answer for yellow, but it's at least a 3-7k attacker.
And it's playable.
It's playable. That's the thing. It's playable. That's the thing.
Unlike a lot of Yukipo cards.
Yeah, compared to all the other Yu-Gi-Oh cards, this is playable. Actually, if you play this in a fan deck, this card can get up to 9k. But yeah, it's not terrible, but it's definitely not the best card either. If you really want to pull double R yellow for competitive reason, just hope you pull Kotari. Yeah, just go with Kotari. Kotari is much better. Next card, the other side of the light, Mami. Yellow 2/155, music and twin trait. All your other twin characters gains 1k, and you may. When this card is played from hand to stage, you may pay 1 and discard a card from your hand. If you do, choose a cost 1 or lower twin character from your raid route and then play it on field.
Okay, so as we discussed last week, Twins deck right now, it doesn't exactly have a support. This is it, but that's not early enough. To be fair, though, the ability to pay 1 and ditch 1 to grab a cost 1 or lower Twins character is essentially like saying, I'm gonna change any card in my hand
into a playable
for the Twins character that I can Dodai.
I guess if you ever lose that Dodai card.
Like that's what I see for this. Like the entire thing I see from this auto ability and this Mami is, let's enable Dodai. Let's put this in the front row and just attack.
I don't think you'll be playing this in a Dodai deck in the first place. It'll be more of a standard Twins deck. In terms of cards this card can target, there is a 2/1 Ami that, as said from last week, all other cards cannot side attack. You can rest a card to give it 1k. You could target itself, and you could have a plus 2k Twins front row if you really wanted to. And another one that won't, and then 2 other cards I could think of off the bat that you won't really lose nothing from is the 1/1 changing clothes Mami and the 2/1 uncontrollable. I can't remember the one that combos with star to star.
You're more knowledgeable about the set than I am. I don't recognize that at all.
I know you recognize the 1/6k that has the whole chasing clothes combo going for it.
Well, that's because that's the one I used in my deck. I know. The
other one doubt anyone would use. It's a Climax combo to a 1k 1 soul wind trigger. When this card attacks, all your twin character gains 1k 1 soul for every other for equal uh x x 1k equal x times 1k 1 soul equal x number of twins you have. Something like basically for every other twin character you have, all your other character gains 1k 1 soul for every single one of them.
So basically, all your other characters gain 4k 4 soul.
No, 5k 5 soul.
Because you said other.
No, it could all other did I say other? No, I mean my bad. It also targets itself.
Okay, so 5k. Wow.
It's actually a terrible card. Don't actually play it. It has hand core. It has hand core, so whatever.
Terrible card.
It's still a terrible card. It's a 7k. It's a 7k card that relies on a Climax combo that doesn't +1 or anything.
All right, so let's get off the bad jailbait and let's go on the good jailbait.
Okay, fine. We'll just go with that. The other side of Light Army, green 0025, music and twins, brainstorm. Pay 1, rest 2 of your characters, reveal the top 4. For every climax you reveal, you may perform this action once. Choose a card from your clock, you put it in your hand, and send the top deck to clock.
And do note I said good, not great. It's playable. But I think this, along with the producer, is kind of going to be a staple, especially because I like that this is a pay 1 tap 2 instead of just a pay 1 rest this itself, because you really want the back row.
Yeah, you really want that back row. The other comparable +1 is the risk code that is pay 1 rest itself. For every climax you hit, you draw a card, and if your opponent's brainstorm and hits a climax, you may draw a card and drop one. And ultimately, the anti brainstorm is like, well, who really cares? Besides like decks like maybe Love Live who brainstorm every single turn, that you probably want that risk go back in the back row.
Yeah, it would be actually kind of funny if you have that read skill and I compass and it hits.
Yeah, I could draw one, drop one.
Not much to say. Very straightforward.
It's
a good card.
In terms of decks that runs events, you probably want to run this card anyways.
Because of the color?
No, it's not that, because it can grab events.
Oh right, yes. Duh, because it can grab from the clock.
Unlike Nisekoi, like I said before, they cannot just grab events from the waiting room. They either have to draw into it or grab it from the clock, which is they're pretty standard.
Yeah.
It's really no different from what it before, but at least it's a +1 this time instead of just an exchange.
Mm-hmm.
And it could and even then you could just if you don't have an event there, just grab a card you want. Grab a climax if you have to.
Yeah. Not much to say there.
Yeah.
Alright, let's get to the next card, which is, in my opinion, the best card revealed this week.
Well, I don't know yet. The other side of light, us is green 002K, music and love. You may discard a card from your hand to waiting room. When you play this card from hand, you can pay the cost. If you do, look at the top 4 cards in your deck, choose a music character from them, then show it to your opponent, add it to your hand, discard the rest to the waiting room.
I have people telling me that they're never going to play a normal like a non-spammable brainstorm because of this card. And I'm like, I think you probably still want those events from the clock. So
That's not spammable though.
Yeah, well, that's not spammable, but neither is this one either. It's just an on-play effect. So I think that this card is playable, especially because this is a straight discard option and also a mill when you definitely need it.
With the new ruling now, you can actually don't have to check all top 4 right away. You can actually just check one at a time now.
Yeah, I mean, this card takes advantage of that, very much so. Oh, do I want this event? Do I want this event?
It doesn't grab events, it grabs music characters.
Oh, right, sorry. But yeah, still, it's like, I like this card. I don't think it would be seeing playing as more than a 2 of. If you're running it as a 3 of...
I still think you play this with Producer regardless, because Producer is still a salvageable brainstorm.
Of course.
And even then, if you really like totally fucked yourself over somehow, you could like, if this comes out and you haven't hit a climax, just grab this card you don't need, like a climax probably, and then you get free brainstorm off that too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how. Although honestly, in my deck, I'm not sure how I'm even gonna put this in, just because how the lower 0 lineup is looking like right now.
Just throw it in as a 1 of then.
Well, probably.
And then you might find some more room later when you start combining stuff. I mean, your deck's pretty solid already, so. Alright, Chihaya.
Next card, determined to go on stage, Chihaya. Blue 105K, music and camera. With this card, this ability only activates once per turn. Whenever you discard a character card from your hand to your waiting room, this card gains 2K to the end of this turn. I am not really sure how to.
So alright, so let me describe the ways that you can discard cards. Alright? First card you can discard, counters. Counters work for this card because it says as a cost to discard this card from your hand to the waiting room. So you get this effect when you do the counter. Also, when you play that Azusa that we mentioned earlier, this card affects as well. Another one that works is when you are doing the producer spammable brainstorm. When you ditch a character from your hand to the waiting room, oh, there's another 2K. Like
Wait,
essentially, you can turn all of those effects into 2K effects.
there's also the option of the anti-brainstorm. They happen to hit a climax. You could draw and drop a character,
Yeah.
but you know your opponent will probably see that coming. In terms of cost, that will be your standard searcher coterie and your salvager Mickey.
Mm-hmm.
There is the first card revealed Ninjiro Miracle, where when this card attacks, you can pay the cost, which requires you to ditch 3 characters at the same time, which will activate this card effect as well.
But only once.
But only once. If I mean, honestly, if this activated 3 times, do definitely play that card with this card with that card, because it'll be easy 6K. But nope, just one time only, guys.
Yeah, I'm kind of. Yeah, kind
I
of.
mean, if you could do this multiple times, that producer card will be like your worst enemy.
Oh hey, it's a 2K brainstorm that also salvage ditch card. Oh shoot.
Yeah, every time I salvage a ditch card, look how many cards, look how much stronger this card gets. It's like saying
So
I
good.
salvage this one, give this card 2K.
This card would go
it's
from playable to broken if it's at 2 times per turn.
But in reality, this card loses out to Makoto, both Makotos, and Takane. In all honesty, because it's
So
not.
the only reason
It's
you could run this is if you were playing that Chihaya that's coming up.
yeah. This is the only real reason is you're only using this as fodder for the next card. The next card, the other side of light Chihaya, blue 3/2/95, music and camera. When this card is played from hand to stage, draw 2 cards, then discard a card from your hand to the waiting room, and you can pay to discard. Determine to go on stage Chihaya from your hand to the waiting room. With this card, go and activate once per turn. When your other level 2 or lower character declares an attack, if the climax Nega Nemori Hime is in your climax zone, you may pay the cost. If you do, restand this card. The climax is 1K1 soul gate.
What I like about that restand ability is that you can lose the battle and still restand because it requires your other characters to attack. So, just like the level 2 Kirito markers, it doesn't matter if you lose that first battle or even if you tie that first battle or whatever, because you get to restand if another character attacks. So that's what I think is really nice about this.
Of course, this one's far easier than Kirito. Technically, Outer Master already has a card with a similar effect, but it's just such a much way more heavier cost on a even worse climax.
Which one? The five or the 6 cost?
It's a 5 cost. It's a 5 cost.
No. There's the Yayoi one. There's the Mickey one.
The Mickey one is a pay 4, but that one's on attack. This one is.
Oh, pay 4. Oops.
And yeah, Yo-Yo has the same trigger. In the most I say ideal situation, if you're a 6 stock, if you have 2 of this in your hand, just play 2 of this, some random 1/0, or put a front row back up. Attack with these 2 first, then attack with the whatever level 2 or lower you had. Restand both of them right away, and you have 5 attacks. And your opponent can't do anything about it unless they play like compass or something that stops damage in general. In that case, you just won't even use the effect.
Another thing that's nice is that you draw 2 ditch one, which already in a set that you can pretty much guarantee what card you want in your hand for level 3. You can get that level 1 Chihaya onto your hand in the first place. My only concern for this card is, well, one, it's the level 1 Chihaya.
It's the level 1 Chihaya isn't bad, but it's definitely not the best card in terms of level 1s.
That's right. So basically, you're going to weaken your level 1 slightly to basically have a slightly stronger endgame. And I'm pretty sure, as we're going to find out on Monday next week, this isn't exactly the best finisher that the set has.
It's definitely not the worst finisher.
Oh, no. It's not the worst finisher, no. But we're going to see a better finisher on Monday, and I'm very sure we're going to see a better finisher than that on Friday. But we'll get there.
I now want to mention some climax because now I can play my Dodai deck without having to cycle my deck.
Hey!
Yeah, because it's a gate trigger. I don't have to somehow recycle every single climax back into my deck over and over again. It was such a pain in the ass, and I was like, please just give me a gate trigger. And I finally got a gate trigger. And honestly, I was kind of expecting this art on the gate anyways. So yeah, I believe that's it. Any upcoming news?
We got quite a few things that we need to mention. Give me a moment, Busan. I'm just gonna look it up. I typed this up yesterday and I completely forgot.
Okay.
Um, but I know we have news. Yes. First things first. Ban list update.
Yes, it's there. The ban list update is emergency. I heard I believe it's an emergency ban list, just like last year, or was it the year before that? I don't remember. Um, it will start on December the 22nd, and it becomes the list will be revealed on the 22nd, and it will be finalized at the 29th. I honestly think this ban list is mostly to answer Nisekoi. Mostly.
People keep asking, "Oh, unban Haruhi." Yeah, right. We covered this already in our podcast, but
Not exactly.
Haruhi
Yeah.
won't get unbanned.
We still don't know what's gonna happen yet. I say this is mostly gonna hit Nisekoi in general. Any other set you think that might get hit at the same time? It didn't really specifically said any particular series, but we all kind of assume Nisekoi is gonna be in it.
Obviously, the other troll thing they can do is not ban Nisekoi and unban a lot of the stuff that we thought was broken.
Other than Nisekoi, I can't really think of a series that really needs a hit.
Um,
Maybe Little Busters. I can't really say for sure. I mean, like
but here's the
it's
thing: Little Busters wouldn't be a choose one of three.
what would it be?
It would be a choose one of 12 because there are way too many deck archetypes. I mean, I am on speaking relations with the national champion for North America,
Mhm.
and he was just discussing that. Oh, I made two or four decks for Little Busters, and I'm like, four? Here, let me list some deck archetypes off the top of my head. I listed over 20, all viable, by the way. So just there are just way too many builds that you can say, okay, well you banned one archetype, I'm gonna switch to an archetype that's the same power. It's like you can never fully get rid of Little Buster's strength because its strength is its versatility. But by nerfing the versatility, you nerf the series entirely. So it's gonna be a choose one of 12 or it's not happening. And honestly, I don't see Little Buster's ban happening.
It'll be funny to unban the rest for some dumbass reason.
No, the here's what I see. Here's what I
I,
see happening, and you can make fun of me guys later if I'm wrong. They're gonna hit Nisekoi with a choose one of three. They're going to remove one card from the choose one of three for Kantai, and they're gonna add two more cards.
I guess it's possible actually.
They're going to add choose one of two for Love Life. They're going to remove one card from the Haruhi, and that would be Trouble Girl Haruhi. They're not gonna touch Disgaea. Why would they?
Honor Master at this point is arguable because of the new set.
No, Idol Master won't get hit. Bushiroad likes to have data before, unless it's of course something like Ashen Rider, Ashen Kamen, that banned before it was released. From there, it could go literally anywhere. But I think Love Live will get hit. I think Kantai will get a little bit changed in their ban list. I think Nisekoi will get hit, and I think Haruhi will get a slight unban. But that's only because I'm influenced by the nearly thousands of people that are saying unban it. So maybe that's biased from what I read, but whatever.
And all the honesty, Haruhi is just losing straight up because it's always good level 3s are banned from each other. I can't say anything. All I can really think of in my mind is Nisekoi. I can't really think of anything in particular in other sets that is like so outlandishly good that it just has to be banned because Nisekoi is just kind of overshadowing any of them
Well,
basically.
here's the thing, right? I mean, like, if you ban Nisekoi, then you also have to remember that sometimes there are unfair sets that aren't as unfair as Nisekoi, and if it's possible
Yeah,
that
that's what I mean. It's just that Nisekoi is so up there that it's totally overshadowing any other set that may have something like that.
so like for example, if Nisekoi gets hit to the point where it becomes weaker than say Sao or Love Life, which are two of the upper tier sets that aren't in the top tier, then you can expect Little Busters to reign supreme.
Yeah, that is for sure. Little Buster is probably reign supreme for a while if that happens.
Obviously, the trick to Little Busters is that they have a worse level 1 game than even Kantai. Like, when I get paired up against the meta Little Busters deck over at locals and online, it's on Skype, I'm always kind of happy because I have the advantage at level 1 in terms of power, and that rarely happens in my Kantai deck because I run only 1/0s.
And when I do that with my Honor Master deck, I am extremely happy about that because there's no way I'm gonna lose.
Yeah, I mean, like, the only advantage that you would have is if you're running um, a deck that runs the 1/0 Yuikos, or a compression build that runs Mio Midori. And even those ones have their own personal downsides, like basically ruining your level 0 game for the Mio Midori, or for the level 1 Yuiko, essentially running red at level 0. Heavy red, I mean. Which you typically don't want to do because your utility cards are in red, blue, green.
Yeah, it really Little Buster's level 1 game is just straight up piss poor.
Not necessarily piss poor,
But
because
it's definitely weaker than most sets.
you have the two options, right? You have the North American option, which is the run the Rin combo to attack and gain cards in hand, level 2 and up. Then you have the Japanese option, or rather the Asian option, I should be more politically correct, where they use the Haruka combo and gain stock, along with the 1/0 event to gain power temporarily, along with the level 1 Suicider, obviously, to guarantee the reverse. That builds up stock for the late game, where they basically get to do whatever they want with the 1/2 event and the 2/2 and which 2/2 can't front attack and so on. But that goes more down the Twins route. Like I said, if Little Busters is gonna get hit, they're gonna get a hit. Choose one of 12 or something like that, because just too many archetypes that work to just ban one or even restrict one. Because there's the key cards in each archetype can vary wildly.
Can't really say anything about that. I'm not that experienced with Little Buster. To be honest, Little Buster was one of the sets I wanted to play, but I just couldn't get my hands on it.
Little Busters is kind of my set still, so I can talk about it quite a bit.
Other than that, any other news?
They pushed back the Fairy Tail release a week.
Again? Wait, no, not again. Wait, wasn't it pushed forward once?
It was pushed forward, yes, and it got pushed back.
Wow, so it's back to where it was before?
Yes.
GG, guys, GG.
We couldn't meet demand, so we're pushing it back a week so we can meet the demand. We've heard everybody, and we are following feedback. Bolch.
That's it. All right, that's it, guys. We'll see. We'll see. Automaster and Sal for about another 2 weeks or so, or is it 1 week? It is.
And then get ready
no,
for
2 more. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Girlfriend
2 weeks.
Kantai, I mean, Girlfriend Beta.
Girlfriend Beta, Kantai, and the Terraform Mars TD.
Oh,
Girlfriend Beta TD, Terraform Mars TD, and Kantai second set. Probably all at the same time, to be honest.
Oh boy. The Girlfriend Beta set is going to be ridiculous because that releases at the same time, right? Oh, no. The Girlfriend Beta set releases when?
I believe it's later than the TD, so we'll worry about that when that time comes around. To be honest, I'm more interested in how many cards in the Kentai set has. So yeah. Anyways,
we know it's 100.
We know it's at least 100. So
No,
yeah.
no, it's only 100. It's only 100.
It's only 100? Oh, okay. It's only 100.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, we'll see you guys next time.